You got to lead with relationship. If you lead with anything else first before relationship, you liable to mess up relationships in your life. You liable to mess up your business. You liable to mess up the dynamics you got with your employees. As a parent, you liable, if you don't lead with relationship with your kids, you liable to mess up your relationship, that you got with your kids as a parent and kid. If you're a leader of a company and you don't lead with relationship first, you liable to tear the whole company down if you don't lead with relationship first. What up, winners? You're now watching and listening to another episode of the Taco Thursday with JK Podcast. I am your host, JK, and you know I'm all about helping young adults win in life and at life, and I do so by tackling different topics on each episode of the podcast that young adults face, experience, things they go through, and I share from my own personal experience, or I share strategies and actionable steps that can help you, the listeners, those that tune in and listen and watch the episode, be able to apply them to your lives and go on and get different wins in different areas of your life. And today is no different. Today, man, the topic that I'm tackling, that I encourage you all to tackle with me, is called Lead with Relationship. Lead with relationship. All right. And so this is something, man, that over the last couple of weeks, man, God really blessed me with this, man, just really planning, for the school year and preparing to get back into the school year. And I just remember, and it stems from me when I was getting my master's at TSU. There was one of my professors, she talked about how if there is no connection, there will be no correction, right? If there is no connection, there will be no correction, right? And so I watched the TED Talk, I would say probably, man, maybe got to be like 6-7 years ago. And the TED Talk is titled, I think every child, every kid needs a champion. It was by Rita Pearson. And Rita Pearson, she shared a quote from James Comer, right? She said, the quote that James Comer said was, "No significant learning can happen without there first being significant relationship." I'm going to say the quote again, right? James Comer said, "No significant learning can happen if there is not first significant relationship." Okay? So today, man, what I want to talk to us young adults, man, and those listening or will listening to this, man, that whatever area of your life, whatever facet, whatever job, whatever career field, whatever role you playing in life, at work, your business, whatever it is, man, you gotta lead with relationship. It's a must. You gotta lead with relationship. If you lead with anything else first before relationship, you liable to mess up relationships in your life. You liable to mess up your business. You liable to mess up the dynamics you got with your employees. As a parent, you liable, if you don't lead with relationship with your kids, you liable to mess up your relationship, that you got with your kids as a parent and kid. If you're a leader of a company and you don't lead with relationship first, you liable to tear the whole company down if you don't lead with relationship first, right? And I got to be honest, I didn't always think like that. As a young adult, as a person, I didn't always think that it was important to lead with relationship. I think growing up, man, especially as a man, you think about control, whatever environment you in, right? Like me, when I first started working with kids, I thought it was about, hey, I gotta control them. I gotta let them know this my room, this my area, this my classroom. As a man in a relationship, right? We a lot of times we told you gotta run the relationship, right? From the aspect of like you in control, you do what I say do, right? But when you try to run a relationship in that manner, instead of leading with relationship, you try to run it as an authoritative figure. that can really throw the relationship off. You can really come off as being controlling in a relationship, right? And so even as parents, like, I know as a parent, you want your kid to know, nah, this is my house, these my rules, you're gonna follow my rules. But if I lead with discipline with my kids, if you as young adults lead with discipline with your kids rather than relationship, you could run your kids away. You could cause your kids to shut down on you because you leading with discipline. Everything about discipline. But you won't take the second to sit down and actually listen to what they say, or to actually lead with relationship, right? And I got this saying, God bless me with this mantra, saying, quote, where you lead with relationship and you follow up with discipline. So even as a parent, a young adult parent out there, or if you got, and a lot of young adults, our kids may be younger, like my oldest is 6, but everybody have different, age range of kids. But the main thing is, as you parenting, you gotta lead with relationship, right? And I understand we get that dynamic, man. I ain't your friend, and you're right. You're not one of their friends in the sense of at school, right? But your child is a human being, right? Your child is a human being, so you got to understand, like, okay, how would I like to be talked to, or how would I like to be dealt with? Would I like to be, if I'm trying to talk, do I just want to be cut off, or would I like to at least express what I'm trying to say? And what I'm saying is that if we're so focused on leading with discipline and we shutting down the relationship aspect that we have with our kids, it can cause them to close up and not open up to us. It could cause them to say, you know what, man, I don't trust talking to my parents. Why? Because, man, they always just trying to discipline. They ain't trying to build no relationship with me. I ain't say like a friendship, like a relationship, meaning that there's trust, there's communication, there's openness, there's transparency. It's not judgment all the time. It's not, hey, you did this, so let me discipline. But it's like, okay, you did this, but talk to me why you did that. Like, what were you thinking? What was your process? What was your mindset? That's relationship, right? And the reason why I know that from a parent, because as an educator, I hear how kids talk. I hear how a lot of them don't feel like they can talk to their parents, right? But then you got a lot of them that do feel like they can talk to their parents. Why? Because their parents lead with relationship and they follow up with discipline, right? I ain't saying lead about discipline. I'm saying lead with relationship, follow up with discipline. But like I said, it's in every area of our life that we gotta lead with relationship. See, I feel like, man, especially like working with young adults, I feel like that young adults a lot of times thinks that it's irrelevant to have a relationship. Like, why I need to have a relationship, right? And a lot of young adults are loners. Ones I teach, ones in college, right? They don't really do people. And when you don't understand the significance of relationship, then you literally could go through your life missing out on blessings, missing out on opportunities, because you don't have a relationship with people. There's a quote that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Right? Just in case you're missing, I'm going to say it again. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Right? So it's hinting that relationship is key. Right? That man, if we live our lives in every area of our lives, if we live it with the mindset of, I'm going to lead with relationship, I'm going to lead with relationship, then we'll see ourselves be in better opportunities, better positions. You'll have deeper connections when you lead with relationship, right? And man, we got a lot of young adults, especially, people my age and definitely younger. I'm on the upper end of the young adult, but a lot of younger ones is what I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to be a business owner. You want to lead, right? But when you're leading a group of people, the group of people that know that you care first are the ones that's going to work the hardest for you. If you take over a company, if you get promoted and you in this new position and your mindset is, or you a new coach of a team and you come in, and your mindset, nah, I'm going to lay it down. I'm going to let them know what I'm thinking. And you just come in with straight discipline, man, you going to run and rub so many players wrong. You're going to run and rub so many employees wrong. And don't get me wrong, employees going to get rubbed wrong anyways, right? Even if you don't try to. But what I'm saying is that you can get and galvanize majority of your team, majority of your classroom, majority of your employees. You can galvanize them when you take over if you lead with relationship. And what I mean by leading with relationship, like your opening meeting shouldn't be straight policy and rules and all the changes you're gonna make. Like, in my opinion, you come into an opening meeting, you start the meeting with relationship, dog. Let them see your personality. Get to know them. Then once you do some, relationship building, boom, you hit them with the discipline, or you hit them with the new policy change. You hit them with the new expectations. But once you leave a relationship and they get to see you as a person a little bit, then they're a little bit more receptive than if the moment the meeting start, boom, you hitting them in the head with policy and all these changes. And it's like, and then they come up like, man, I don't like them. And it's not to be, you want to be liked by everybody, but you also want to make sure you're seen as a person first. When your employees, or when your players, or when your students, or when your kids see you as a person first, they got more empathy and sympathy for you. They take the time out to say, man, you know what? Dang, okay, man. Like, yeah, they're my parents, but I see them as humans. And I know how hard it is to be a human, so I could offer some empathy and sympathy. Or, man, I know that's my CEO. I know that's my boss. I know that's my, my head coach. But I could see them as people first. So because I see them as a person, then I'm able to empathize and sympathize with them. But when you come in and you don't try to establish no relationship, and it's just you just operating in a role, and you don't see the people, you see the role that they do, you see the position that they got, then that's when people lose empathy and sympathy for you. And I seen it. I literally seen it happen, where you see someone not express empathy and sympathy for those that they were leading, and then when things transpired with them, they wanted empathy and sympathy from the employees or the people that they were leading, and it doesn't work like that. So whatever area of your life, lead with relationship, right? Another reason why it's important, right? Because we talked about it, how, right, no connection equals no correction, and then understanding, right? No significant learning can happen without first a significant relationship, right? But also understand that relationship will help you skip the line. Relationship will help you skip the line. Leading with relationship will help you skip the line. A lot of times, and I think even now, like when I'm working with young adults, they think that it's all about how much money you got, right? That if I get a whole bunch of money, I could do or get to wherever I want to get to in life. And that's not true. Or man, I'm uber talented. I got all this talent in the world, and because I got this talent, I don't need to build no relationships with my high school coaches. I don't need to build no relationships with my college coaches, because I'm so talented. I'm going to the NFL. I'm going to the NBA. I'm going to the league. I'm so talented. I don't need no relationships in high school. I'm going to get a scholarship. And it don't work like that. That I don't care how talented you are, how much money you got. If you ain't got the relationships with people, you'll be that same person looking like, dang, man, I was so talented, but what happened? Man, how so-and-so, who I got better stats than, who I outplayed, who I outperformed, I got better grades, how did they get this and I didn't? And a lot of times it boils down to relationships. So as you maneuver through in life, in whatever role you in right now, you got to understand that I got to lead with relationship. Me, even in a school, like the kids that I serve, I don't know who they're going to be one day. I don't know. Right? Like, so the school that I work for, right? Or the school, right? Jelly Roll. Think about Jelly Roll. Jelly Roll, country singer. They said his daily listens right now, I think on Spotify, or it might be Apple Music, whichever one, right? A daily listen is 23 million listens a day. 23 million. Now, Jelly Roll, if you don't know Jelly Roll, country singer, his story, The man was kicked out of his high school, right? Kicked out of his high school and told that he wasn't going to be allowed to come back on the premises, right? Recently, the man was able to be brought back to his high school, right? Where he was kicked out of and doing amazing things. This man is like, he got the opening song for college football for this football season. But the point of what I'm saying is that in high school, you might have thought Jelly Roll wasn't going to amount to anything. He was told that he wasn't going to amount to anything, right? But imagine somebody you see right now, because you see how they are, and you're like, nah, I don't need to establish no relationship with nobody like that. They ain't got no future. And then years down the road, they turn into who Jelly Roll turns into, or they're a top doctor, or they're top in their field, a top entrepreneur, and you don't know that the relationship you built with them when it looked like they were nothing, when it looked like they had nothing, when it looked like their future was dim, the relationship you built with them during that time is what they remember. So when they get to where they got to, or where they're going, man, they think about you, and they might turn around and bless you. They might turn around and bless your kids. They might turn around and invest in your business. So I'm not saying to leave a relationship because you want something in return, but what I am saying is there's some benefits that come with leading with relationships. So obviously leading with relationship that allows us to have deeper connection with people and the people that we lead, but it also allows us to skip lines. It also can set us up to receive bigger and better blessings. Why? Because we led with relationship. So understand, young adults, I don't care how talented you are. I don't. If you are not building relationships, if you're not trying to get to know the people you serve, or that serve you, or that you work with, and build true relationship, man, you selling yourself short, because you will get further in life because of relationship. It's only so far you can go by yourself. Like, I look at the opportunities that I'm walking in, I'm living in currently right now, that obviously is by the grace of God, right? It's by the grace of God. Faith without works is dead. So part of that works is me being intentional about building a relationship and not burning bridges. I'm not even saying you got to be best friends with everybody you connected with, but what I'm saying is, hey, don't be out here burning bridges. Don't be out here burning bridges, because you never know who somebody will be in 1 year, in 5 years, in 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. You never know who they might be. All right. And then lastly, man, when I say lead with relationship, and why I think it's so important as young adults and everything that we do, why we need to lead with relationship, is because we need to understand that every person we come in contact with, or every role that we serve in, that it's important to make sure that we're not transactional, but we're transformational, right? And so when you are conscientious about leading with relationship, then you are a transformational person. And what I mean by that is I learned what's a transactional coach and a transformational coach. And I know those two words and the meaning of those two words, but when looked at as a leader, when it comes to being a coach, or you're leading a group of people, it was put in that term, like, and they asked us coaches, they was like, are you a transactional coach, or are you a transformational coach? And in your role, are you a transactional teacher, or are you a transformational teacher? And I had to think. I'm like, oh, what? Like, right? I'm like, man, sometimes I could be transactional. Like, man, okay, it's times where my scholars, I was about to get observed. I had to have a talk with them. Hey, look, hey, I'm about to get observed tomorrow. I need y'all to be on y'all best. I always need y'all to be on y'all best behavior. But if y'all, I really need y'all to be on y'all best behavior tomorrow. And if y'all be on y'all best behavior tomorrow, I got that pizza party for you. But that was transactional, right? Because I was trying to get them to do something, right? Because I knew if they behaved, then it was going to be good for me. And so I admit there are times where I'm transactional. But when I shared this story, that people told me, the part of the group, they said, the fact that you're able to have that conversation with your scholars lets us know that you consistently are transformational because you have that relationship with them where you can have a transparent moment and they understand what you're saying and how much you need them. And it was like, if you really weren't a transformational teacher, right, then the kids wouldn't even listen to you because there would be no relationship built. So what I'm saying is that as a parent, if you are all about transaction with your kids, what can I do? What can I get? Right? Clean your room so you can do this. Go to school so you can do that. Hey, we're going to go outside. We're going to practice so we can do this. If all we are is transactional with our kids, where's the relationship? Where's the relationship? There are a lot of people, well, I'd say there are some people that make it successfully in a career and make it far, right? And then they look back and say, man, but I wish I would have had a relationship with my parents, right? Why? Because much of their relationship was transactional. Much of their relationship was about, hey, trying to be the best here, trying to win, trying to get the best results. And I understand the pressure, having kids and be coaching them. I understand it, but I also got to take a step back and know that, hey, I got to lead with relationship first. That the better I am and have, the better relationship I have with my kids, the more they'll want to do what I ask them to do. And I had to realize that even taking my son outside, son and daughter, but my son older and into sports, right? And so I just remember him saying, right, at one point that really we was only going outside really to practice, right? And we were just focusing on practice. And I wasn't allowing him to get as much playtime first. And he told me, and I'm like, I had to look, and looking back at it, I was being very transactional. Right? I was being very transactional. But I listened to my son and I understood, I led with relationship. And I understood, hey, one, I got to come outside way more. And then two, when we get outside, I got to let him be a kid. Then once he play around, be a kid for some minutes and for some time, then implement what we got to do. So now when we go outside, he like, hey, daddy, him and my daughter, hey, can we ride the bike first? All right, let's ride the bike. Ride the bike a couple times around the block. All right, now we're going to go back and going to get some shots up. Because I want him to know, this ain't about transactional. Hey, we're going to get this work in, but we're going to get it through me first leading with relationship. And leading with relationship in that case is, hey, let's go outside and play, man. Let's just father and dad. You know what I'm saying? Father and dad, same thing. Father and son, right? Let's just go outside. And then from that, leverage that relationship, man. So it ain't easy. It ain't easy, man. But just understand and remember, young adults, that you want to be transformational. You don't want to be transactional. You want to approach your relationships. You want to approach the people you're leading. If you're leading a company, if you're leading a classroom, you're leading your kids, or you're leading, a business, you want to make sure that you're transformational. If the bottom line is the bottom line, I need results. But how do you get those results? You get those results through relationship. I'm telling you, if you want your team to win, you got to lead with relationship, bro. I'm telling you. Players play harder for coaches that they know care about them. Point blank. I'm telling you. All right, so man, I'm gonna close with that, man. Just understanding, one, lead with relationship. Follow up with discipline, or follow up with policy, or follow up with expectations, follow up with rules, but lead with relationship, because leading with relationship, right, allows significant learning to occur. No significant learning can occur without first having significant relationship. No connection equals no correction. And then also understand, man, that relationships help you skip the line. No matter how much money you got, no matter how talented you are, that your relationships will get you way further and get you there way faster than your money and your talent will. And then lastly, man, don't be transactional with the people you serve, the people you work with, the people you lead. Don't be transactional. Be transformational, man. So, hey, that's another episode at Attack of Thursday with JK Podcast, man. Y'all continue to wake up, striving to win on purpose, be intentional about winning, and y'all have a blessed day.